Never been so sure.
Alright you guys, so let's get started with today's makeup look. I'm so excited. It's gonna be like my first fall tutorial on my channel. There's a lot of firsts for me right now with my whole channel journey, and I'm really trying to take that in and just enjoy the moment, because I guess the fun thing about YouTube is you never really know what's gonna happen down the road, and it's always been such a fun creative outlet for me, and I'm just really happy to be here, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. Quick disclaimer before we begin, I currently have the windows open in my little studio. I always like to have a little bit of like wind coming in. I hope you guys don't mind if you hear any birds or any sounds. That is why. To save time on the video, I already went ahead and filled in my eyebrows. I just went in with the Milani Precision Brow Pencil, and this one is in the shade Ebony. Then I just went in and kind of concealed right underneath the brow to give it a little bit of a highlight. So because I'm going to be using about 3 shades on my eyes, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on my eyes first. So for eye primer today, I'm going to go in with the Louise base, and this one is in the shade Rumor 1. And I'm going to begin to pack this all over the eyelid. So then I'm just going to go in with a little synthetic brush like so, and I'm going to begin to buff this all over the lid. So what this eye base is going to do, it's basically going to cancel out any discoloration on your eyelids, and it's going to help your eyeshadow stay true to color all day long. So that is why I like to go in with this first. It makes such a difference. If you don't have an eyeshadow base, you can go ahead and use your concealer and just set it with like a translucent powder to make sure that your eyeshadow does not crease. For eyeshadow today, I'm going to go in with the Warrior II palette by Juvias Place. So I think for today's look, I'm going to go in with this shade, and this shade right here. So we're going to use those 3 to kind of achieve a really nice sultry smoky eye. So first I'm going to go in with the shade Dora, which is like this really pretty peachy shade. And I'm going to take that on a Morphe M504 brush. It's just a really big fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to begin to work this on the crease of the eye. And I'm just going to begin to work in little circular motions. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Yodit, which is like this mustardy brown shade. So beautiful. And I'm going to pick it up on that same brush, and I'm just going to begin to pack this right over those areas as well as on the eyelid. So I'm just going to work this on the inner crease. I don't want to blow it out as much as I did the first shade, because I want to make sure that when I close my eye, you can still see both colors. So I'm going to kind of be a little more precise with this one as far as my placement goes, and I'm just going to keep it on this inner crease area and then lightly buffing it onto my eyelid. So I've just recently been loving really quick, effortless makeup, and I find with my eyeshadow I'm way less, like, I guess, anal with my eyeshadow the way I used to be. I feel like before it was always like, you know, I had to spend so much time blending it, and I just feel like sometimes when you're working quicker like this, it ends up looking even better. So I love that. Do you see how pretty that looks? And these shadows just blend absolutely beautifully together. So I'm loving this so far. It's gonna look so good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna swirl it on a paper towel. And I'm gonna go back in with the shade Dora, which is that light peachy shade. And I'm gonna begin to layer that right over the brown just a little bit more, because I wanna make sure that it's still visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same synthetic brush and I'm going to pick up the shade Yodit, which was that mustardy brown, and I'm just going to go in and pack this on my lid because I want to make sure that it stays kind of nice and smoky down here. So I'm just going to make sure that's nice and packed on. So, okay. And then you can always go back in with your blending brush and just kind of soften everything out. Like so. I love that. It's giving me all the fall vibes. Okay, so pretty much that's it for the eyes. All we're gonna do is kind of just smoke out the outer V because I think that just gives it such a sultry, warm chocolatey vibe, and I really want this to be very sexy and kind of dark. I haven't really done like a vampy look on my channel, so I'm really excited to do that today. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Kufuru, which is like this terracotta brown, still very dark, still very deep. So it's gonna give us just the right amount of definition. And I'm picking this up on a Morphe M456. So it's just a bit of like a denser brush. So it's gonna be really good for precise placement. And I'm just going to tap this on the outer V here. And this is a trick I always do. If you're going on dark shades and you're scared, the trick is to take a smaller brush, kind of just pack the color where you think you want the definition. You just kind of pack it on. It's going to stay in that same area, and then you can pick up your blending brush and begin to blend that out. Okay, I think that's about all the darkness I want today. So what I'm going to do is pick up my handy dandy blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff on the outer corner as well to soften everything out. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna go in with a makeup wipe and kind of just clean it up. I feel like it wouldn't be a vampy look if I didn't do some liner, so I'm gonna go in with the House Labs liquid liner, and this one is in the shade Punked. It's just the black one, and I'm gonna begin to kind of do a little wing. So I'm just gonna start from the outer corner, like so, and then drag it inwards. All right, so then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take my makeup wipe, and I'm just going to clean up my wing to kind of sharpen it up a little bit. By the way, I highly recommend this liquid liner. If you go back and look at all my videos, I've always used a gel liner on my channel. I just never found a liquid pen that I just relied on. I never found one that was black enough, waterproof enough, and this one is amazing, guys. So if you guys don't know, this is Lady Gaga's brand, and I actually picked this one up on Amazon because I don't think her brand is sold in stores yet. It's so easy to work with. It's so pigmented. It's amazing. It's probably like the best one on the market. All right, so for lashes today, I'm just gonna go in with expensive lashes from Beauty Creations. These lashes are just wispy in all the right places. I just love them. I've been reaching for them so much. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop these on off camera really quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so our lashes are now on. I just went ahead and gave them a curl as well so that they could look nice and fluffy and kind of get that little doll-eyed look. So now we're gonna move on to the skin, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the e.l.f. Poreless primer. I still love this primer so much. It's just so pretty. It doesn't mess with my foundation and just gives me that nice smooth look that we all love. For foundation today, I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr Hydrating Foundation, and I am in the shade 240. If you're someone with dry skin and you're in the market for a full coverage foundation, this is definitely a nice option to consider. It's so beautiful on the skin. It's super long wearing as well. I get surprised every time I put this on. Even if I use it in the summer, I find that it still looks so beautiful throughout the day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and buff this on. I'm just using the Real Techniques foundation brush. With this foundation, I kind of just like to smooth it right over my skin. I don't want to mess with my primer underneath too much, so I don't really do buffing motions. I more kind of just lay the product down, and I find that this is the best way to blend this foundation in particular. When I get to my neck area, I'll go ahead and I'll buff, because I don't want that much coverage down there. But as far as my skin goes, I like to just really do little sliding motions like so. And I find that it looks the most natural that way. So now I'm gonna begin to work on the under eyes. And first I wanna go ahead and color correct, and I'm gonna go in with the LA Girl Corrector, and this one is in the shade Peach. And I'm just gonna begin to lay this down to help get rid of any dark circles. To blend that, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe E8 brush, and I'm just going to begin to stipple this and really just kind of blend that product out. When you're working with correctors, you wanna just kind of do stippling motions because you don't wanna move it too much around. You want it to kind of stay in that area where the blue tones under your skin are peeking through. And then for concealer, I'm going in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is still one of my favorite drugstore concealers. I've told you guys in the past that it reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It's just so beautiful the way that it blends out under the eyes. And I'm just gonna begin to pack this on with the same brush and then kind of buff the product outwards. Okay, so I feel like the skin is looking really good right now. So what I'm gonna do is begin to kind of set all these creams in place. And I'm gonna pick up my Fit Me face powder. This is just the original Fit Me powder. And this one is in the shade 120. And I'm gonna begin to set my under eyes as well as the rest of my skin with this powder. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend, make sure there's no creasing. And then I'm gonna pick up my little powder sponge and just go right under the eyes like so, and just really lock that in. So now for the rest of the skin, I'm gonna pick up a powder brush. This one is from Real Techniques, and I'm dipping it into the same powder. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the rest of the face with this to make sure our foundation does not budge. All right, so now we're gonna add some color back into the skin because we're looking very one-toned over here. So I'm gonna pick up this bronzer from the brand Aesthetica, and I got this in my BoxyCharm, I think 2 months ago. I've used it once, I think, and I really love the color. It's very cool toned, just absolutely perfect for when I'm this fair. I've really been loving just a really soft, natural bronzing moment lately, and this one just gives it to me. Like, look at that color, guys. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with the Fit Me loose powder, and this one is in the shade Light. So now I'm just gonna clean up my contour, and I'm picking up that powder on this little Morphe sponge. It has like this flat edge to it, so it's gonna give me that nice precise look under my bronzer. So I always use my tragus as my guideline, and I just go straight down and clean that up. Then I'm just gonna take a little bit of that powder and just kind of dust it right under my eyes. So while that's sitting, I'm gonna go in with blush, and I'm picking up my Profusion Blush 2 palette. I've spoken about this before. I love the tones in this palette. I'm always reaching for it. There's just something for every season. So like during the summer, I was playing with like these tones right here, and now that it's fall time, I'm constantly reaching for like this top row over here. It's doing it for me. So today I'm gonna go ahead and mix these two matte colors and pop those on my cheeks. And it's just gonna give me like the perfect fall cheek. It's just so pretty. All right, so now let's jump back into the eyes because we're not done. And I'm gonna take a kind of flat definer brush, just a little squared off brush like so, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the darkest shade that we used on our eyes, and that was the shade Kufuru. I'm just gonna begin to kind of pack this right on the lower lash line, right against my lower lashes. And I'm gonna go in with a clean shader brush like that, and I'm gonna go into the two shades that we used in the crease, which were Dara and Yodit, and I'm just gonna dip into both, kind of make a little cocktail. And I'm gonna go in and just directly blend over that dark brown and just kind of begin to create that nice blended ombre effect under the lash line and just really soften it out. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how everything is looking right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dust off that excess powder. And when you're doing this, you just wanna kind of work in circular motion so that if there was like a harsh line, because you're buffing like this. It's going to kind of get rid of any harshness. All right, you guys, we are almost done. So what I'm gonna do next is pick up my LA Girl setting spray, and this is honestly like my holy grail from the drugstore. It's so amazing. It smells like coconuts, and it will keep your makeup on all day and give you that nice dewy look. So I'm gonna give it a good shake. Oh my god, it smells insane, guys. Like, if you have not tried this and you're looking for a new bomb setting spray and you love the smell of coconuts, pick this up. You'll thank me later. Okay, so last step on the eyes, I'm just gonna pick up a mascara, and this one is the Loreal Lash Paradise. I love this. You guys know it's one of my holy grail mascaras. And I'm just gonna begin to wiggle this under my lashes. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll this on the base of my lashes. I'm not putting this on my false lashes. Okay, so now let's get onto the fun stuff, and I'm gonna begin with my lip color. So I'm gonna pick up MAC Pro Longwear lip pencil, and this one is in the shade Bittersweet. It's just a beautiful chocolate brown, and it's super long wearing, so it will not budge throughout the day. So I'm just gonna begin to line with this one first. Okay, so I have this on. I know it looks insane. I promise I'm gonna fix it. For the inside of the lip, I'm gonna go in with Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood Liquid Lip. And this one is a red, deep red, brown-based red lipstick. So beautiful. I've had this for a long time now, and I love it. I feel like every fall I always whip it out and I pop it on, and I'm always obsessed with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this. And the trick with this is to really line over your lip pencil. I feel like if you guys have been watching my channel for a while now, you know that I'm always in a nude lipstick, so this is different for me. Okay, so I'm in love with the lip color, but I do want to go in and clean it up. So my little trick that I always do is I pick up a little bit of my foundation and I pick up a flat angled brush like so. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of pop this on the back of my hand. It's literally like half a drop, guys. And I'm gonna begin to kind of just clean up my lip. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back in with my Dome synthetic brush, and I'm gonna kind of clean up and begin to blend the foundation. All right, you guys, I'm loving this makeup so far. I wasn't gonna highlight, but I decided why not, let's do it. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Champagne Pop, and I'm gonna pick this up on my Morphe M501 brush. Just a nice little tapered brush, and as you guys probably know, this is a very intense highlight, so you want to work slowly with it. It can get crazy fast. I still love applying my highlights on the apples of my cheeks. I just think that it just looks so pretty when I smile. It really pops out, so just gonna dab that on. All right, so that's good for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just spritz one more time. All right, you guys, so here is the finished makeup. I really do love it. I love the tones. You guys need to try this out if you're going anywhere, if you're going out to eat, if you're gonna go, who cares, run errands. Honestly, this look came out so good that I feel like I need to go walk my dog or something. Somebody has to see this, okay? If you guys enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and like this video. Leave me a comment saying hi. Let me know that you're watching. That would make me so happy. I love reading everybody's feedback. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram yet, make sure to go follow me. I'm always on there. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you on my next upload.